Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Accent Training Podcast. My name is Pat. I'm your personal American accent coach. And today is a continued training, especially focused on French, Spanish, and Italian speakers on the H sound. Because those three languages don't pronounce the H. However, the good news is it's a really easy habit to start using with your English because H has no special shape. It's just a puff of air that comes out before vowel sounds. Now, this is going to be a very breathy episode with a lot of sounds. So if you need to take a minute to, go brush your teeth or use some mouthwash real quick, or at least get a piece of gum, go and take care of that real quick. If you're on the subway or if you got people around you, they'll certainly thank you for it. But if you're ready, let's train this H sound. Warm up and repeat after me real quick right now. Ha, ha, hey. He, heart, art, hate, ate, hedge, edge. And if you want to describe your disdain for something and you say, I ate that, well, now people are going to think that you ate it, that you consumed it, right? Instead of that you hate it, you can't stand it. Now, one of the most important uses of any sound is to pronounce somebody's name clearly. And there are a few common names starting with the H sound. If you can pronounce somebody's name the way that they like hearing it, you're going to connect with that person better. So practice some H names with me now. Let's go with the ladies first. Starting with Hannah, Haley, Heather, Harley, Hazel, Harriet. What's Hannah here for? Heather had a healthy lunch. Haley's just behind you. Is that Hades' husband? And then a few male names. Harry. I'm sure everybody's heard of Harry Potter, right? But do you naturally say Harry Potter or like Harry Potter? Get that H in there. Harry. Henry. Howard. Homer, Hector. And here's one more that a couple people have told me they've never seen before, but I've met a few people with this name, Hugh. Listen to that again, Hugh. It's like the word you, but with an H before it. Hugh. And there are two ways you could spell it. Either H-U-G-H or H-E-U-G-H. You can spell it with or without the E. And it's still the same pronunciation. Hugh. Let's put some of those to the test. Henry hasn't heard from Hector. Call Howard in half an hour. What does Hugh do for work? Harry's heading home for the holidays. There's a good one. Let's try that again. Harry's heading home for the holidays. All right, now that you're warmed up, let's put your ear and your muscle memory to the test, building this habit. I'm going to read out a few longer phrases, and I want you to do two things after me to train this H right now. Number 1, count how many H's I pronounce in each sentence. And number 2, shadow the sentence after me and pronounce all of the H's nice and clearly. Starting with, I hope to hear from Henry soon. I hope to hear from Henry soon. 3 H's in there. We have to hire some help. We have to hire some help. 3 H's in there. Who noted the meeting's highlights? Who noted the meeting's highlights? 2 H's. Hugh heard he needs healthier habits. Hugh heard he needs healthier habits. 5 H's. There's heavy rain in Houston all weekend. There's heavy rain in Houston all weekend. 2 H's. Hiring Hannah has helped us hit a higher standard. Hiring Hannah has helped us hit a higher standard. 6 H's. Harvey wishes us happy holidays, but he had a horrible headache. Harvey wishes us happy holidays, but he had a horrible headache. If you caught all 7 of those H's, then your ear is way better tuned than it was 10 minutes ago into these H sounds, and you're doing fantastic. And so now your ears are calibrated to catch the H sound. Your muscles are feeling the pronunciation. I've got one more task for you here, my friend. I'm going to give you 3 high-level idiomatic expressions using H's. Starting with uphill battle. Uphill battle. This is to say a struggle that takes a lot of effort. Like imagine that you're fighting someone physically, and that gravity is also working against you. An uphill battle is a problem that takes more focus and energy than your regular task. If you work in sales, you know that helping your clients is sometimes an uphill battle, right? They don't always know that they want the help. Or if you're a doctor, explaining the medicines and the dosages to your client is an uphill battle, and trying to get them to stick to it, good luck. Or as a teacher, if you're trying to teach a student who genuinely doesn't want to be there and doesn't want to learn, is that not a major uphill battle? Whether they're an adult or a child, if you've got a student who really isn't interested in learning, that's a major uphill battle. It's a struggle that takes more effort than your average problem would. Our next idiom is to get hands-on. Get hands-on. This means being physically involved in the process. Accent training is entirely about getting hands-on with the American accent. For example, you're not just learning about the American accent, but you're getting hands-on experience and implementing it systematically. Or if you're just applying for jobs and they say, we want someone with hands-on experience, then they're saying they want someone who's done this before. Someone who knows how to navigate these tasks. Hands-on experience. Someone who's been there, done that, and taken a selfie. And then finally, to keep your head above the water. Keep your head above the water. This means to be just barely getting by, just barely surviving, succeeding, yeah, definitely succeeding, not thriving, but just getting by. It's often used in a financial context. If someone is just keeping their head above the water, it's like they're just making their bill payments, they're just, keeping the credit cards at bay and getting food on the table. They're just keeping their head out of the water. Or if a company is just keeping its head out of the water, it means it's not a very attractive investment. It's just barely staying alive. And sometimes companies will go from just keeping their head out of the water to Fortune 500 companies. And those are the ones you want to be able to spot in time, right? Make some good investments. Now, my task for you is to pick one of those 3 idioms. Uphill battle, get hands-on, or keep your head out of the water. One of those 3 idioms, and develop it into a larger context for yourself. Something that's going to be useful for you. Could be a question, could be a statement. I'd recommend coming up with one of each. Come up with a question, come up with a statement. Be ready to use this at any moment, whenever the time comes. Because when it does come, you'll be able to use a new American accent sound. And you'll have a brand new American idiomatic expression at your disposal. The quickest way to learn the American accent is to seek out the opportunities and use them yourself. Don't just wait for me to release another accent training podcast episode or YouTube video or Instagram reel in order to get your accent training in. Don't blame me if you lose momentum. I get busy. So don't blame me if you haven't trained lately. Get out there and find the opportunities for yourself. And when you need me, I'll be ready with another accent training podcast episode for you, my friend. Have a good one. You and I are here to see that English communication is a bridge for your personal and professional life, not a barrier. With a structured approach, you'll stop wasting time guessing and start seeing compounding results to quickly let your expertise be the focus, not your pronunciation. Open the link in the show notes now and book your first free consultation with me. I'll personally show you what those next steps look like.